Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada, here for a D3Hoops.com classic conversation with head coach Chris Klassen of the SUNY Canton Brews. Brews with two tough ones at the tournament here. I know you weren't at full strength and you're just kind of working your way back to it.
Yeah.
So tell me as a coach what you take away from the two games here.
Well, you get to compete against two great teams. Us moving into a new conference this year, much tougher conference than what we were in before. So this is going to be a great kind of head start going into what we can expect in the SUNYAC. So we want to come out, compete, play against bigger, tougher, stronger teams. It's only going to make us better in the long run, and hopefully we get fully healthy and get some people back.
We always enjoy coming here because we get to see players that we read about but don't get to see very often, and video can only show you too much.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you about two players in particular. The first one, Natalie Bartle, who's had a long, strange trip to SUNY Canton from Finlandia, Colorado Mesa, and Nebraska Omaha.
Yep.
Tell me how you found her and how you brought her to Canton.
So Natalie played high school basketball in Tucson, Arizona. So she played for our club team, the Tucson Rattlers, for about 3 years. So we had that relationship, and I haven't really changed much as a coach of what I do, the style of play, and she fits very well into what I do. So, we always kept in touch throughout the years, and when she was at Finlandia, she had a heck of a year out there, and then they closed the school.
Right.
So I kind of half joking reached out to her and was like, well, I finally have a head coaching job and you don't have a place to play. Why not just for 1 year come to New York? And, it kind of snowballed over the next couple months into like a little bit more serious talk about it. And then it ended up working out. And then, last year she was off to a great start. Unfortunately had that ACL injury. And she just got cleared early December. So these were only her second and third games back in over a year. So you can see some rust, but I mean, as far as like coming off an ACL injury, I mean, she's still pretty dynamic. It'll be exciting to see how she keeps developing throughout the season.
I had asked this question to Gabby Holko, who's the head coach of Susquehanna, who had the opposite thing happen where they lost their top player in the first game of the year. You bring one in 6 to 7 games into the season. As a coach, how does that affect you in your preparation?
It's a little weird. Rotations, I'm still trying to work out. That was, we've only had 4 games before we got here. It's kind of been a wild year. We had 21 days off in the middle to the end of November, played 1 game December 7th, and then finals, and then they go home. We haven't even practiced. So it's just been a wild, last 30 days, we've had 2 practices and now 3 games. So, but we've got a gauntlet coming back with conference starting. We'll have 3 games a week for 4 or 5 weeks in a row. So hopefully we just keep getting it back in shape and that rotation kind of settles itself in and we get a little more cohesive. We get some people that have been sick, hopefully back soon too.
So we talked a little bit about Bartle. Tell me about Hope Aniceto and how you found her. She's from Illinois.
So when I got the job, I was recruiting nationwide. I think I like to try to get some out-of-state kids to mix with the in-state kids because they all kind of think and act different, even though it might be the same play. So just a little bit different way of thinking across the board. And she played on a really good club and high school team to where she was kind of like the 6th man and hardly ever shot the ball. So I just I could see in her more that was shown. And I told her, hey, I want to push tempo. I want you looking to shoot the ball more and trust that 3-point shot. And last year really came full circle for her. I think she hit 92 threes last year and was #1 in the nation until Smith went all the way to the championship game. But she's just a great 3-point shooter, high-level competitor, and never backs down. So
I'm not really sure how to ask this, so I'll just do the best I can here.
Sure.
You have a lot of small players, right? Hope, Natalie, Deal, Sierra. Do you have a type, or is this just what you're picking up?
So I kind of built this roster when I took over. When I got the job, it was COVID, so there was nobody playing high school, nobody playing club, and they were 1 in 24 when we got there. So I was trying to build a roster off of nothing and, really just searching for people that fit the system and the culture we wanted. And then from there, worry about getting bigger as we go. Now, last year we had a heck of a year. the roster that's built right now was built for the conference we were in last year.
Right.
So that conference change kind of came overnight out of nowhere with no like, hey, in 2 years we're gonna know. It was like after this year we're in next year. So, and that's fine. I'll just adjust some of my recruiting stuff, but I wouldn't trade any of them for anybody. Sierra got Player of the Year last year, or Rookie of the Year, first team all conference. Like, she's dynamic. We just have to get a little more creative, getting people open, getting them a little more space to get shots up against bigger guards. But I love them. The fight in them, you can't put in the bigger bodies.
Yeah. You're an ambitious guy. I can tell that from your journey to Canton.
Yeah.
I imagine you like the change in conference. You've had a whole grand total of 1 game in the SUNY.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on moving from the NAC to the SUNY?
Yeah, it's a good move for us. It keeps the New York kids all in New York, so a lot more families can get to all the games. We're not traveling to Vermont or Maine anymore, which is nice. Saves money for the school.
Yeah.
But the level of play is much higher across the board. There were a couple games like the last couple of years where I kind of know I'll get to play everybody this game. We can probably have the worst game of our season and still be okay. There's no gimmicks anymore. We got 18 conference games that we got to show up every day, and we can't overlook anybody.
Yeah.
So, and I kind of like being the underdog. We have to prove ourselves before we do anything. So we went through that in the NAC. We came from the bottom and moved up over the first 3 years, and now we just have to find a way to do the same thing. But we love competition. That's why we came here. I knew it was going to be 2 great games. Teams we'll probably never see back in New York, obviously. So we just want to always build that competition level and try to always get better every day.
Tell me about your journey from Canton. You're from pretty far away from that.
Other side of the country. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. So I played college ball in Iowa. Once that was done, I knew I wanted to coach. That was my calling, went into teaching. I was a teacher for 14 years and took as many coaching jobs as I could and started a club team with my wife. And, started work. I got on to Pima Community College. Great program. Todd Holdhouse, awesome guy, one of my best friends. Always in the top 20 in the nation for JUCOs D2. He really helped push and make calls. And then I got an assistant job at Knox College in Illinois and was there for 2 years, and I kept trying to get to that next level. And Randy, our boss here, believed in me and what I was talking about in the interview, gave me the shot, and I'll be forever thankful for him. And we love it in Canton. It's a great place to raise the kids. Small town living's a lot different than Tucson, over 1 million. No stress, no traffic. I love the seasons. My golf season gets cut short though. I miss golfing year round, but no, I love it. It's a great place to be.
What's it like building a basketball program with your wife on the staff? You've done this special now.
Yeah, special. So her main, I love coaching. That's my passion. Her passion is fitness. She's been a personal trainer for 8 or 9 years now. So it's really cool that she was a college basketball and soccer player. So she's been through what all our girls are going through. And being able to put her in charge of our strength and conditioning program is a great asset because she's all of 5'2" in the quarter. She always gets that in the quarter. But she can throw weight around like nobody's business. So if we're sitting there saying the exact same things, lifting the exact same weight, I might get a few kids that look at me and go like, okay, coach, you're strong, I can't do that. But they can't say that to her, so we get full buy-in.
That's right. I hadn't even noticed the height thing, so that would be helpful.
Yeah, so maybe that's where my shorter guards come from, is just not noticing. But no, so it's really special being able to build that program with her. And one of our things with our culture is family, and it's not just a word for us. Like, obviously she's on staff. My daughter's a senior in high school. My son's in 8th grade. They're around all the time. They know the girls. We have team dinners. So it's a big family atmosphere and a great culture to be in.
Well, I wanted to close with that because I think of all the teams that I've seen here, you probably had one of the biggest crowds. And if we did number of people who came by, like per square mile, you definitely win. So tell me about your traveling party.
We have incredible families. And that just falls into our culture. We want kids that are about the team. Their families are about it. They're supporting whether their kid's the star or the last on the bench or in between. And you can see all those people. I mean, we had to have over 60.
Yeah.
And from
again,
New York,
not nearby.
no, so it was a lot of fun, and they do that. Obviously, this is far, but everywhere we go, we travel like that,
That's
and even
really
more
cool.
so in New York.
Right.
But it's nice to be on the road and have a home court advantage almost at times.
Yeah.
And in New York, sometimes we even have bigger crowds than the home team, so it's really like
bet.
we're not even playing on the road.
Yeah.
And last year, that was a big help for us.
Yeah.
In having such a strong season. So we love them. They're always so supportive and just add to our culture that we've built.
Well, it was great having the SUNY Canton Brews here from the D3Hoops.com Classic. He's head coach Chris Klassen. This has been a Classic Conversation.